Good morning, y'all. I popped on a little bit early because I started trading a little bit early. My house has been very loud, but it just got quiet until the dogs bark again. But let me go ahead and get stuff going here. This is the chart that I'm looking at right now off of the CPI move. I have the ES on the left and the Nasdaq on the right. I was really tempted to play the Nasdaq, but I was more patient, or I don't know, more sensible, and played the ES since it was right at this fire line. Kind of wanted to play both, but I decided that would be coming in a little hot for a data move. So I took profit at the first target, and I've got my runners protected, so. Early morning, I don't hate that. I will kind of talk about, I didn't have a whole lot to add to my morning analysis because we basically are just kind of in the same area that we were in when we opened the week up. So I've been really watching the 75 level. You know what I don't have on this is my levels. Let's see how easy it is to add them over here. To switch, there we go, I just have to switch to that one. So the other reason I really liked this target is that really lines up with that 60-75. However, if we get over the 60-75, that was support that was broken the other day. So in the grand scheme of things, what I was watching is the other day we had lost the 75 level, retested the next support, and I was looking to see if we ranged here and claimed, which is what we're kind of looking like we're doing here. The 75 was major support level on ES. And I've been watching the VIX come down too. So that helps out here. When the market actually opens, I'm sure I'll have some options I need to kind of go disappear and attend to. Whoever's on Discord, sorry, I gotta redo this real quick. There we go. Otherwise, this isn't gonna make sense. Okay, I'm watching tech also. Tech is looking like it's enjoying this CPI move as well. We've been playing Tesla a lot. We've got a little bit of Amazon. So, see how that goes. Oh, and Reddit, I was looking for a dip buy. Kind of cranking up pre-market. We'll see. But good morning, y'all. You can see why I ended up starting a little bit early when I was able, because we're already getting a pretty nice move. I know with the fire lines, we've been talking about kind of, you know, introducing them and what the kind of plays we're looking at. So we're basically looking to either keep it in a range or play the breakout. The breakout trades are kind of the main part of the fireline system. One of the other really important things when you're trading isn't just like how to play levels in the market, but how to manage your risk. And, you know, I haven't been trading that long. It's just been like 3 or 4 years since I've been seriously day trading. And it's not something that I'm still working on too. So on Friday, we're going to have a webinar with Rob. He's going to talk about all the tricks and things he's learned teaching traders and trading for himself for decades. So that'll be helpful. Today, I'm here for a short stream just to kind of say hi to y'all and see if I can make some money. And like I mentioned at the very beginning, I was playing this CPI move a little bit. So what I was looking for was to break and hold the UVL, which lines up perfectly with this line, this level that I marked yesterday too. I love it when that happens. So I'm in this move. I took it off of this break, what we're looking for on these breaks. Instead of trying to actually buy that level, because that's kind of hard, we're looking for price to hold over it, and then we can break that swing high. So we kind of had two. We had one there, and then we had another one right after. I'd gotten in on this level, just took a little bit of heat, and then booked profits up here. Then once I got those profits booked, I took off 3/5 of my position there. So I've got 2 runners left. I'm targeting the second target, and then we've got a third target above up there. And my favorite thing is like these are quant levels, so they're calculated automatically. Ooh, I just heard my thing trail. Let me see if I want that. Yeah, that's fine. These levels are quant levels, so they're calculated automatically. But I have these pink and purple levels are the levels that I've come up with manually, and they're lining up. So when I see this in the morning, when my levels are lining up with the quant levels on the fireline system, and we're having a break with CPI, and I'll talk about CPI if y'all want. This is what gives me a lot of confidence to trade this thing. Welcome, Aircam. I've been feeling the pressure to put out another really good video, so I'm a little bit behind this week. I've been trying to make sure it's really good. I might end up just putting out a short one and then doing the big one next week. We'll see. But I've been really enjoying kind of having the community come together here more too. I've been really busy over the summer and not able to spend time here, but all coming back together. So with the CPI move, I posted this in my Discord. And I've been kind of keeping everyone up to date. What the market is pricing in on this, and I was looking at the CME Group's FedWatch tool, and then I also got to peek at my friend's Bloomberg terminal this morning. It's all saying the same thing, which is we're looking for next week with the Fed's FOMC meeting. We're looking for a 25 basis point reduction rate drop. Probably a pause in January. The likeliness of the pause in January keeps going up, which means no change. And then the next meeting would be in March. There's 10 a year, not 12, which is weird. So we skip February, go to March, and that one is looking like another 25 basis point drop at the moment. That could change. Yeah. Well, it's hard. I don't know. I'm having to find a whole balance because trading's a lot. Everything else I've got going on in life right now is a lot because I have kids, so we're all the Christmas parties are right now. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to live a little dangerously and take this and this, the ES and the Nasdaq this morning. I probably could have like put it in my PAs or something, but I didn't. All these people are trying to tell me that trading prop firm money is better than trading your own money, and it's not, guys. Not. Especially when you're trading these discount prop firms, it'll ditch you in a heartbeat. I really like holding over the 75 level. This just puts everything in play. Every tech breakout, every little breakout that we've been watching and kind of had a pullback yesterday, it's looking like we're going to be able to buy some. Like I said, I had a little bit of options to manage this morning. A little bit of Amazon's doing all right. Ooh, Tesla. That's even opening on a drop, and that one's looking good. All right. I think my options are set. Here's the argument everyone gives for using prop firms. It's like, well, if you're not profitable, you should be in prop firms. I don't know. I think if you're not profitable, why are you wasting your money with prop firms? You should be in paper, and paper's free. Like, if you're hoping that just in case you make money, like, that's gambling. My trailing stop is trying to trail a little bit here, which I think I'm okay with because it's still, I'm just kind of watching. I don't want my trailing stop to really mess with this wick. I can see if I can zoom in on this wick a little bit. I know I got my things all really tiny and y'all have to go into HD to see stuff, but I got this wick here and I wouldn't be surprised if we retest that. So I just want to make sure that my little automation is not trailing too close here. Hello, let me move it. Yeah, I think it's a shitty idea to say, well, if you're not profitable, you should be in a prop firm. Like, if you're not profitable, you shouldn't be freaking pushing the buttons on a live account yet. But okay, I'll let it trail on that pump. This is looking good. I mean, this is just too freaking easy right now. Rob, I don't know if you're watching. You made my morning way too easy. Way too easy. This is what I've been looking for. I still do my analysis because I like to see where all these major points in the market are. It's like having that background knowledge of like the context of what's going on in the market, plus the intraday little quant levels and a money management plan. That's what you need. The order flow just looks real good. It's just buying. Everybody's just buying, buying, buying. Oh, wow. Everything but Nvidia's up. I was just looking at Amazon and Google. Those ones took off hard. Nvidia's a little complicated. I've been saying, like, I think the like magic of Nvidia's kind of lost its luster. I'm still playing it, but just when it like gets, I don't want to buy any calls when it's below 140. Basically, I'm kind of looking for that break. Then once it gets below, it like really struggles. The flow on Nvidia's been kind of all over the place. So I'll just kind of go over this trade again. I think I went over it, but what I was looking for is we had the CPI move, and the pink and purple levels are my analysis levels where I'd marked, you know, just basic support and resistance levels. And that's exactly where the CPI went down and tested. That's also that whole number. That 60-50 was kind of an obvious level there. I've got dogs doing all kinds of nonsense in the background. They're distracting the hell out of me. Anyway, when we made this move up, it basically tested that support and then went right back up through that 68 level. The fact that we just touched that one and then broke this one and then did the BHG, the break, hold, go move on it, that just gave me a lot of confidence that we were in fact going to get up to the 75, which if we hold up here, that puts us back on track on the daily. Do I have my daily pulled up? Well, I don't know what state this daily is in right now. AMC, what the heck? Okay. Not even on my daily right now. Obviously, I didn't get my charts ready. I don't know what this crap on the bottom I was looking at is, but this is, we didn't even get down to the daily 21, and it's trying to pop back up. We were just holding 2 ATR, and we lost it, and now it looks like we're trying to pull back up to that 2 ATR. All right, to trade one MES, you just need 50 with Ninja. What happens if your balance goes below 50? You need 50 to be able to get that position, but you need 50 plus a buffer. So that's why, like, if I'm going to use like 1 or 2 MES, I'm using 500 because then I've got a buffer. When you get down to your zero, basically, they're going to auto liquidate you. So they'll close your position and then they'll charge you a fine or some sort of fee. It's not that much, but if you're charging, or if you're messing with $50, it is. I think it's 40 or 50 bucks for that fee. It's like the liquidation fee. So don't do that. But I also trade on Interactive Brokers. That's where my big accounts are. And if I'm going to trade futures over there and I want to do MES, I need $1,200. And the way, at least I used to handle risk on that account, is if I was going to take one, I want to double the futures margin. So if I was going to trade one MES, I was having $2,400 in the account, which, when you're looking at their math, makes sense. But then when you go over to the discount prop firms, you don't need anything like that. Like at Interactive Brokers, I think I need 20 grand to trade full Nasdaq. No. I think I'm getting scolded by Rob over here for trading the CPI move, but it was just too good. Look at that. I broke that purple level, held it. That was just too good. But yeah, so when you're in Ninja or any discount broker, it doesn't have to be Ninja, you do need to have you need to have your drawdown accounted for too. Yeah, Nvidia is just that right now. It's just that over under 140 line on Nvidia. If it's under, we go. If it's over, we go. Whee! This is the boring trading that I love right now, because like I said, I was in down here at 70 level. Let me see if that's actually my fill. Yeah, my fill was 71. It's a little bit off of that, but I'm just hanging around from here. Profits booked. Like I'm having a green day today. The end, because of this move. So that's my favorite kind of morning. I don't usually like to hop into these CPI moves and data moves, but that one was just so clean. I've got, like, this is part of why I knew the stream wasn't going to go as long today. I've got a big project going on back. That's why the dogs are barking. There's people here doing things that I asked them to do. We better freaking sound the alarm. All right, I'm going to show y'all tech since we're just kind of waiting on the fire lines here. And again, if you're just joining this is the fire lines quant levels. And the pink and purple levels are my levels. The pretty fancy ones here are the fire lines, and those are the quant levels that I've kind of really gotten into here. And I have information on them in the description, but I'm also doing a live on Friday. It'll be longer than the live today. And we're gonna, you'll be able to answer or to ask any questions to the actual developer. I know a lot of the answers, but I don't know all of them. So you'll be able to ask him directly. And he's also going to be teaching us about risk management, because I think that that's a missing piece for a lot of traders. We were talking about this before the last live, before we hopped on. I got fussed at for not doing small talk, but I was small talking with Rob for like 20 minutes before. But we were talking about how having these levels is great, but you can still lose money trading a good system if you aren't using proper risk management. And so beyond knowing where to put your stop and your take profit, which having good levels really helps with, you need to know how much risk capital to have in your account and how to manage all that. So we're going over that on Friday. Something that I had added since the last live that we did on the fire lines is the VWAPs. So if you've traded with me before, I really like VWAPs. We were kind of talking about if you had to add something to the super clean chart, what would it be? And for me, it was VWAP. I've got the solid VWAP. This is the one that, this is calculating the full session, so back to opening last night. And this dotted line is hard to see because we're just exactly supported by it right now, is the VWAP from the regular trading hours. So it started, where's our candle? That candle right there is the first one that it started on. And this happens a lot. That's why I really love this intra-session VWAP. It's kind of like watching the SPX or the SPY VWAP. This supports us a lot, or is the overhead resistance, more so than the full session. And it's just because of all the different products that are being traded, really. When you think about it, this is the S&P 500. I like trading the futures for a lot of reasons, but I also like, you know, there's also a ton of different ways to trade the S&P 500. Of course, we love SPX and SPY options and that sort of thing, but show him this in Discord a little bit. And see, that's why I want to take the Nasdaq too. That's okay. I'm going to pretend I was responsible just making a data play on one asset instead of two. Because if they were both going to dump, then they were both going to dump hard, and then I would be sad. Good morning. My trail's trailing again. Let's go. I'm looking for around that 85. I'm going to show y'all the bracket that I'm using. Honestly, the videos that I'm working on right now are kind of long, and so I'm having a hard time getting them wrapped up this week. So I'm thinking about doing just a quick one where I can show y'all my favorite brackets in NinjaTrader. They're the automated trade management brackets. The Nasdaq already got its second target. That's why I kind of wanted to be in both, but I guess I could have if I took them in micros, but what happened is I kind of meant to take it in micros, but I was in a rush to load my charts because my software had crashed overnight, and I saw this move setting up, so I'm like, load, 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 load. And then it loaded the ES chart, and I took it, so like, okay. Guess we're playing the minis today. That's great, Robert. I thought it was very clunky and weird at first, but if you kind of look past all that, it's really powerful. And I'm doing a little bit of developing. I just haven't gotten it out yet. Honestly, I've just been busy with personal life. As always, can't get my act together. And we're setting up for a really nice trend day, too. I had this magnet level up here, but this was this week's? This might be this week's magnet. Yeah, because I deleted it. I remember I deleted. So the magnet levels is where price will naturally head back to throughout the week unless we make a significant move away from it, but it does tend to head right back to it. So that's around the 96.50 level. Do you expect ES to drop after hitting 85s? Well, that's a support, I mean a resistance level. We could definitely get a reaction there. So what's interesting is these are the quant levels from the fire lines, and the quant levels pulled one there too. Pulled a level right there. So we're likely to get a reaction. It could be like this down here where we get a consolidation, and it could also be a drop. So one of these days I'll get where I can share my Ninja screen easier, but I actually put my profit target right behind it. In my head, and some of y'all know this, I call it the don't be a dick for a tick offset. So I've got an 85 level instead of putting my order right there at 85, especially because I'm trading real funds and not prop firm funds where just like a little touch will trigger it. I need an actual order to match with me. I'll put it a few ticks below. And this 85 level isn't a super strong one, so it could be a little bit loosey-goosey. That's why I went a full point out. Of course, I think I'm one tick from hitting right now, right? Where's this chart doesn't show the high and low. Yeah, I went to 83.75 and my order is literally at 84, but that happens. But what I'm really watching again on my stop, because it is trailing, I'm just trying to make sure it stays below that, this guy here, this dotted line is the regular session trading hours, and we've been pretty supported by it. So and then just trailing my stop, but I'm still kind of manually watching it and make sure. Oh yeah, the don't be a dick for a tick. How many times, I mean, I swear it's worse in options sometimes, but how many times have you just seen like the little candle get a little wick, just like not quite touching, don't even get the tip. Oh well. Try to make, I was great to like call the high and low and play the high and low of every day, but it's better to make money, so I don't mind giving up a few ticks for profit. Yeah, we're just chatting on the fire lines. He said this play that I took this morning, he's going to explain what I did in his terms. But what I'm looking at is I've got a break of a level that's both a quant level. This yellow box is like my favorite fire lines to play. So we've got a break of that level at a level that I had already kind of seen in my analysis was important, heading up to this next important level, and then we're breaking it again. This would have been another break that we could have played here. And this is the BHG. So if you break it, this isn't a very clean hold, so that's why it's harder to see and play. But that would have been kind of the level to take this next run up here. So it can definitely help on trend days like this where you feel like you're kind of missing. This is when I was first learning about the fire line system from Rob, this is one of the things that I liked about it is when you get in these trend days. So even maybe this even happened before I got to the computer, this one that I ended up getting in, and be like, damn it, I missed the good one. Well, you can still get some other opportunities, and maybe I won't go into this one with as much size, but I can still get in there and make some money. Okay, are we going to get my target this time? So I'm going to take this one off just so I'm not confusing, but what I'm looking for is just like literally where my order is just literally this 84 level. So you can see we didn't quite get it. We thought about it. Decided to make me wait. Oh, I had somebody like mad. I'll explain the fire line in just a second. I had somebody who was like mad that I like don't get upset and like hyper and shit when I'm trading. But that's the money management again. So like I've already booked the main part of my profits, and now this is like the cherry on top. Or like I was describing it the other day as having my cake and eating it too. So I ate my cake down here, and I still have my cake up here because I had 5 pieces. Took care of 3 of them down here, and now I've got the 2 left. Yeah, it's teasing it, but I guess like, you know, I've kind of gotten, you get more relaxed into this stuff. I don't need to profit on every single tick. I don't need to bank every single tick. But the fire lines, This is an indicator on TradingView, and it's throwing out the quant levels for the day. I have a playlist on it, so I can probably go into a lot more detail there, but it's a very affordable, it's under $50 a month. I think it's $49.95, something like that. You get a free week trial, and then you have your intraday quant levels on your chart at open. So these actually populated last night. I'll show you this. I'm playing ES. I'll zoom out on this one. On the 3 minute, so I'll go down to the 5 minute where we can kind of zoom out a little bit better. So there's yesterday's levels, and I'll show you what I played yesterday too. Yesterday, this was hard. This this consolidation around this whole mess, but the fact that we just like could never catch any lift. And then we had the break of the fire lines that we were holding below, and we held below this VWAP. This is what I ended up taking. It's a little bit mess, and I don't know if this was like an official trade off the fire lines, but I kind of took this retest on the VWAPs for a drop, or maybe it was this one. I don't remember. I took one of these retests of VWAP. It also lined up with the fire lines on Nasdaq. It lined up with the lower value level on the Nasdaq chart, and that was part of how I got confidence in taking that one. I posted it on the Discord showing someone that's kind of why I started using this kind of dual chart the other day. I try not to move my targets and my stops too much. If I move it, it's got to be part of the plan. So the plan was to have it a little below this 85 level because we've already messed with this earlier this week, so it's not going to be as precise and all that, but yeah, I could just book some here. But like I said, this is not the main meat of my trade. The main meat of my trade I took off down here at the first target. So my profit's booked for the day. So this is my bonus here. It's my overtime or my bonus going after these last two. So I've got one at 84, and then I've got the next one up there at the third target. I have to zoom out because it's way up here over 6,100. I actually think I put my target around 61, but no more financial advice for me. Yeah, it is hard. Oh, it got that one. I got my 64. It took that order. So this is that 85 level, and part of why I want to take a runner off there is because we could have either some consolidation or a drop up here. What are the colored boxes at the end of the lines? These things, the first, second, third. This is on this comes with the fire lines. So these are the value levels down here. So it's lower value level, upper value level is for the orange, or not orange, yellow box. And then first, second, third targets. I'm kind of showing you over here on the Nasdaq chart. Making sure my cursor's coming through. Sometimes I'm stupid and turn my cursor off. I'm still trailing, but I'm still kind of watching to keep that stop below the VWAP. It keeps kind of inching above. So right now my stop's up at 78 because our VWAP is on ES like 79. And it could come down and take out my last runner, and that's okay because I've booked 4 figures in profit off of just this one little move. And I didn't have to mess with the scary part of CPI. That's what I kind of wanted to show y'all. I didn't mess with this big scary part of CPI. The aggressive thing could have been to potentially have a limit order down here. That's what the Lambo traders probably want to do. That's not my move. I want to wait and see out the CPI move and then take it at a logical point in the market where it becomes a breakout trade, which for me was, I was watching the 68 level that lined up with the upper value level, which is my favorite quant level to trade. A few imbalances already. Yeah. The market doesn't have to get imbalances. That's the thing about imbalances. Like you don't have to go get them at any particular time. They're just kind of levels to mark when you're going to get down there. That's why I don't fuss around with low time frame imbalances much. what's going to happen is we're going to end up losing a major level, and then it'll go down and possibly target those imbalances. So that's why that's when you would kind of look towards imbalances. But right now we're trending, so as long as we're in the trend, I'm not going to worry about the market trying to eat up those imbalances. It's once things change, and we do have a little bit of order flow changing, but we expected that. We were talking about how this 85 level on ES is resistance right now. So we're expecting either a consolidation or a reject in this area. Nasdaq's kind of between levels, but that probably helps the ES out a little bit. Also, if you look at tech, where's my tech chart? Tech's looking pretty strong, and this is the Mag7 plus, well, it's the Mag8, I guess, because I needed a box to fill in down here. The only thing that's down is Tesla, and Tesla is, you know, a meme. It's going to do its own thing anyway. And it's not down significantly. It's still over 400. So we've got tech looking strong. It's making up the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. So these are all clues I'm watching. So even though the order flow is slowing down, we don't have the aggressive buying that we were seeing in, you know, these other candles here. I'm not seeing selling, if that makes sense. It's just like the aggressive buying isn't there at this level. Oh, I just realized I didn't have an order fill over here, did I? No, I did. Okay. This is why I turned my big account off yesterday. It was looking a little ugly in the afternoon, and all of that's recovered again. Just about. Something's down. Oh, well, that was a stupid one I didn't share anyway. It was an experiment, and it's gone wrong. Okay, what time did you get in? It was on, it was before the market opened. So I don't remember. It was down here. I have to go look. But I got in this area here. My fill, I went and looked at. I didn't get 70.25. I got 71. So I filled in here somewhere. I took just a littlest bit of heat there before it took off. So it was before the market opened. A little bit. What time is it now? Well, it's 9 o'clock here, so. The market open is here. I was already in. I've taken profit around market open, so. A little before 9 Eastern. Go into my executions. This is going to be central. This is 8 o'clock. I got it at 8 o'clock. So 30 minutes before open. Now we're chilling because I love trends when you get in on the trend in the right spot. And I didn't need this scary move. I just needed the reliable move. That's what I wanted to show on this. Like, yeah, I could have gotten that whole thing. I could have, but that would have been scary, and this was easy. Okay, so I'm watching this dotted line. My stop is below that on my last runner. So I had 5 ESs, and I'm out of 4 of them. So there's no way to go red. The only thing that can happen here is I make extra money. And because that one right now, that runner is at over $500 a profit. So they don't often hit, but when they do, this just makes the morning so much easier because now I don't have to stress about making money today. I'm gonna go stress about this project in my backyard right now. They got my whole situation torn up back there. So the reason that I'm watching this regular trading hours VWAP so closely is because that's been the kind of intraday structure that we're holding so far. So if that breaks, then this trade's over. We do have the Dow coming down kind of hard right now. So, and the VIX was dropping and now it's settling. I guess is the best way to put that. Oh, Nvidia just made a full reversal and is now coming back down. They're going to try to get that 140 on Nvidia. That's always the battle on Nvidia. No, I get stressed about y'all getting money. I am too, and I don't just go and sell stuff. I get approached all the time. I got like this guy has emailed me 4 or 5 times about a forex platform, and I'm like, dude, I'm not your girl for forex. I don't trade forex. I'm not going to be able to give you an honest review, and I don't want to spend my time on that. This is aside from the prop firms, let's face it, they pay me a lot of money. I'm promoting this because I'm actually using it. I actually like this. It actually uses, I mean, I was looking for some quant levels. I have my magic levels. Some of y'all have gotten to kind of try that out. The magic levels are only Fibonacci based. They're Fibonacci levels. They're a little bit different. They're not a straightforward Fibonacci retracement and extension. It's using some more advanced math that I had learned. But this is, he's not going to give away, you know, the farm, but it's using a lot more than one thing. I know it's taking volume and ATRs and all kinds of things into account. Like, these are professional levels. This is developed by a professional trader who was working at like a real prop firm in an office, which the way I picture it, I came from real estate. And so we could rent a desk, or if you were a top producer, you got one of the window offices. And then we had sales meetings every month. So that's just the way I picture it, is like you go in and you can rent your desk, and that desk gives you access to the people who will teach you how to become one of the top producers with the window offices. And that's what he was doing. And what he needed to do was create a system that could be repeatable by all of these knuckleheads coming in, because some of them knew they were trading live funds, but they weren't telling them when they were putting them on the live funds. Everyone was getting a salary, and he was teaching everybody how to trade. And then the ones that were really, really great at it were getting put into live funds. But that's where this system came from. It was meant for any knucklehead to be able to do this, but it's mathematically based, so you don't have to come up with all of the little intraday stuff every day, which I really love. Even though I'm really good at coming up with support and resistance levels and trading them, this has been really, really helpful to me, because it gives me confidence when my analysis is lining up with the quant levels, but they're also really, really, really good. Like, they're really good. And there's some times when they're not as reliable as others, but that's the way anything works. Because sometimes we can end up with a massive move where we're already at the second line when it opens, and that's kind of hard. In that case, I usually go look at a different asset, because I'm mostly an index trader. So I've got ES and the Nasdaq up here, but this, I mean, you can put it on gold, and he says he doesn't like it on crude. I haven't messed with it on crude yet, because crude's been weird lately, but like, you can put it on anything. So if your indexes aren't playing well and you want to go even put it on Tesla or something, it's going to work there too, which I really like, because I'm not doing a full analysis, support resistance level on everything. So I kind of found my home main asset, which is the S&P, and then I can expand my horizons a lot more quickly, just kind of watching the basic things. So I've got my magic levels that I watch on things, but I like these better. I didn't make it, and I like it better. That's okay. But, and he actually asked me for advice on kind of what the price point should be. And I wanted it to be something that people like understood that there was value in it, but completely affordable. And like, you can make this up in one micros trade. You can make your monthly subscription to Firelines up in one micros trade. Oh, K-Pack! I always miss my old buddies. Yeah, we're watching the 85 level as a potential reversal. My trailing stop has actually trailed up to right below these wicks, which I might kind of just let it. We'll see. Because my next target is pretty far up there. I told y'all it's above 6100. However, where's my target? Yeah, I put my target just under. So the 6100 it's not just the century figure. That's also where we had last week's settlement, which it's kind of getting into more advanced level analysis, but there's last week's close and there's last week's settlement, and they're a little bit different, but they're both right up there underneath the 6100. So we're gonna have a lot of things that we're running into there. So that's why I'm still doing my analysis. It still gives me a little bit of edge because maybe I'm not going to reach for 6108. It still could go there and make me look like an idiot, but I'm not as confident with 6108 as I am with just under 6100. So I'm still using my brain, but this makes it a lot easier. And like I was saying, we kind of had a good spot on Nasdaq. So the same move that I took on ES, I took it in here. That was down here on Nasdaq, and this is one of the reasons I didn't take it on Nasdaq, is we hadn't fully made that break of that level yet, and so this was more risky to me. I really felt like I would have had to wait for it here, and then excuse me, that's only 30 Nasdaq points, so that was just, I didn't have the meat on the bone there. That's kind of my mentality, but I think Rob kind of thinks of it the same way. You've always kind of make sure you got some meat on the bone before you take it. And I saw the meat on the bone in ES, even though Nasdaq has made kind of a fabulous move here. I saw the safety on the ES play. Sometimes I'm wrong, but that's okay. Yeah, Jim, this definitely helps you look at more things in less time. And I just flat out don't have the time or energy to do all this charting on all these different things. I don't trade that many different things. I mostly trade the S&P, the Nasdaq, and then like the Mag7. And I'll branch out some because I'll be like, ooh, financials is doing good today. Let's maybe trade some banks or something like that. But my wheelhouse is tech and S&P. But I still don't do analysis on all of them. Like NVIDIA, I know because I'm trading this that we got to watch the 140 level. But I can throw the fire lines on it and kind of get some better ideas for the actual intraday levels and things. So I'll put it on this one. So that was Netflix. I meant to put on NVIDIA. Where's NVIDIA? Right below it. Okay. So, and look, the upper value level on NVIDIA is lining right up with 140. I'm telling y'all. That was, I didn't even check that. I did not even check that. 685 is the weekly 50. Ooh. I didn't have that marked. It looks like we're trying to claim it though. So I was bragging on Rob the Firelines guy. There he is, perfect play. Y'all can ask him questions too. Good morning, Rob. I barely had to get off this chart because I'm just still in this play. I had this 88 level there. That I think was the high from yesterday, something like that. I would have to zoom out a little bit. Let's see if I can, oops, wrong chart. What was I watching there? Oh, that was actually a low from the other day. This is why I try to mark these things, but I just hear cha-ching, 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 cha-ching in my ear right now because it's trailing stop. Rob, you're making this too easy today. Good morning, Hollow Point. There it goes. Okay, this is going to make me look bad if I take profits early, isn't it? So this magnet level, the green levels that are on this Nasdaq chart on the right are what the fire lines levels are, and then the pink and purple are my Barbie levels. But I see we're kind of running into stuff. The blue is a trend line, and then we've got the weekly magnet level and the century point. So this is what makes me a little bit nervous ahead of this third target, but we could still definitely get it. Bull Barbie, did you enter at the straddle showing on ES? I entered at this down here. I was looking at a BHG, but I mean, it's kind of a BHG and a straddle are kind of the same basic concept. So I entered down here on this first one, and then I was kind of showing the second one up here. But this one, I marked it at 70.25, but when I looked at my actual entry, I was in at 71. So I got in this mess somewhere. It was right around right around 9 o'clock. Right, so it was in here. I took the second break up. So I got in 71 on this one, right at the turn of the hour. And so that's what I was saying. Like, it was so easy to just book this, like book 3/5 of my play, and now I'm just cruising. Like, this is the ideal setup because this is a breakout setup. The BHG is a breakout trade. So the ideal breakout trade is when you head straight into a trend, and CPI is something that offers that. So I talked about this a little bit, but what CPI basically did, and I went and looked at it on the CME FedWatch tool, and then I asked one of my friends who has a Bloomberg terminal to show me his, and it showed the same thing. So we've got a 25 basis point drop, like ridiculously likely. It's basically happening next week at the FOMC meeting, then a pause in January, and then another quarter point in March is what we're currently looking at. So that's what the market is looking to price in. And that's kind of where we were before we dropped below 60.75 and 60.85. So that's why, like, logically, like within the narrative, within the context that I'm always talking about, this play just made a ton of sense. And so that's why I was able to enter it with a lot of confidence. What the fire lines did is give me my entry. So when we had this breakout of the upper value level, that was also a level that I'm watching, and I got the breakout signal, which is the BHG trade at the fire line that had confluence with everything else that I was watching. It just made for a really good trade. Now we're getting all of this order flow up here. It's not a bad day. It's not a bad day. And then I only need the one trade today because, like, why would I trade after this? I'm getting more than double what I could have gotten since I'm getting the full continuation on both of my runners. So, Kellis, I am not on every day. It's hard to trade and talk at the same time sometimes. The next time I'll be on is Friday. We're doing a stream. I'm doing a stream with Perfect Play there, the Firelines creator. He's going to teach me some new stuff too, so it'll be fun. But we're going to go over some risk management, and then he's going to actually tell me kind of some details of how his system saw the same trade. So that'll be fun. I'm also total like ADHD and wander off and get distracted by shiny things, so it wouldn't always be a good stream. It's better if I focus. Locked out of my XFA accounts. Ooh, nice. So you do the make profits and then lock yourself out thing. You can do that on the brokers too, by the way. I know y'all were asking me questions about Ninja earlier, and you can set max loss and the profit limits in the software if you're using NinjaTrader as well. I think you can set some of that at the broker level, like the max loss and things. You can set that at the broker level, and then in the software you can set some of these other things. And someone was asking me about the there's a little tool that I use that makes it look more, if you're paper, well, I paper trade on TradingView. I don't real trade on TradingView. It drives me crazy. But it has the little where it'll show you where your level is for your take profit or whatever, but it'll show you the dollar amount of the profit right next to that. So I have that turned on too. I kind of went back and forth with that because I don't want to trade profit. I want to trade levels, but it does help with some math. I didn't hate Top Step. I don't know. I didn't get excited about them. I don't think they're bad. I have a lot of people in my group that's their main prop firm. I don't know why everyone's like, oh, you can only have one. Ah, my stop got hit. That's okay. We'll see if we still go up, because I was telling y'all I kept moving my stop below this dotted line, and I wasn't paying attention, and it got hit right back at that second fire line. Anyway, what was I talking about? Can we follow your daily trades? I'm not organized enough to post each and every trade. Plus, like, that's scary. You know what happens half the time I post a trade? I will post a trade, and then everybody else takes it a different way. They try to outsmart me, and then they lose money, and I make money, but then they're mad at me for sharing a trade. But I'm like, what what? Because I made money on it and you took it differently than I did. You got in late or you didn't take profit when I took profit, and now you're mad at me for sharing my trade. But I do share some. It's easier for me to share the slower trades, like swing trades and things. So I do share those in my Discord. I'll also, kind of the natural flow, like I'm not always on the microphone. So sometimes I'm posting like, oh, I'm gonna go long here. If we hit this level, I'm gonna go long. And so I'll post that sort of thing in my Discord. That's the easiest place for me to kind of hang out. I have, the nice thing about Discord is there's a lot of automations. So if I'm in my brokerage software, I can send charts real easily and things. And so that's the way I have that handled. How tight do you normally trail stops? I don't have a normal point figure. What I'm watching for is the swing. In this case, I'll be looking for the swing lows. But if we were in a short, I'll be looking for the swing highs. And then what I was watching here is this dotted line is the regular trading hours VWAP. So this is the VWAP that started at open, which was this candle. So you can't see the VWAP, but it's in that candle. It's kind of in the middle. What I noticed, and this happens a lot, this happened the other day too when I was in a trend trade, the VWAP, the intraday VWAP will support price, but it'll still be pretty close. And so in this case, since we were hitting it, but not really staying through it, I was trailing just below this dotted line. I have it on my ninja charts as well. So I was just keeping my order below that. You can attach orders to indicators like that, but I didn't. I guess I was too lazy on that one. I'm catching up on some of these comments. Okay, Pat, you use a 3-point stop. I can't do that, like set point stop, because sometimes we're in a 10-point range and sometimes we're in a 50-point range. I don't know. It makes more sense to me to just kind of look at the patterns and see what we're doing. Sometimes I'm wrong though. I get stopped out a lot on my runners. But the point of the runners is if we go into a trend, then they're going to bank. And if we stay in a range, they're going to just leave the market at break even or so, maybe hopefully a little bit better. I try to put them right above so I don't pay commissions on them, but that's the way I look at my money management. But yeah, come on Friday, because then we're gonna learn about a little more pro money management. Someone who's been in it a little bit longer, created the fire lines. So it's always more to learn. This is just kind of the trick that the money management trick for me. And I was talking about this in the Discord the other day, is we want to have our cake and eat it too on these trend trades. You don't know if it's going to be a full trend or not. You're capitalizing, or you're banking on a breakout, but you don't know if it's going to fully follow through or not. If it does, I want to be in, and if it doesn't, I want to be out. And so that's why I came up with this method of booking the profits real quick. So I get that book. Like as soon as I need to trail my stop, I book profits, which for me is at the first major target. Even if it's only a few points away, that's where I'm booking my targets and trailing the stop, because I like money and not losing money. So I wouldn't take your trades unless I agreed with you, although I'd be interested in seeing what you're looking at. So definitely come into to our Discord. Do I have a link for that? I can get a new one. But almost every day, sometimes I'm distracted or doing other things, I post what I'm looking at. So today it was kind of more about CPI, and then we also have a trade ideas, and I've been posting there. I've been trying to encourage other people to post in there too, but I post a lot of trade ideas in there. So I can't even read this one. Oh, that's an NVIDIA one that I posted yesterday. Kind of looking at some BABA. I don't know if I ended up in that one. I'll have to go look. And then SQ. So a lot of those are slower, and I'll have limit orders, so those are a lot easier to follow. And then in the chat, I'm usually posting like, okay, I'm along the 75 level or whatever it is, because that's kind of natural. I added some new little chats, but we haven't used them yet, just to see if anybody wanted them. I had kind of some requests. But... oh, You're putting. Barbie, you mentioned you take profits at particular targets. How many contracts do you normally trade? And your first target is 20 ticks or more. So my target's going to depend on the day, because like I said, sometimes we're in a 10-point range and sometimes we're in a 50-point range or whatever. This morning we've moved 30, 40 points. So it's really going to depend on the swing highs and swing lows. So what I'm looking for is I always just call it meat on the bone. I talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm going to take some of this off of this chart because I want to show. I'm not even in this trade anymore. Okay, I'm just loading a clean ES chart so I can show this. This trade that I took earlier, I took off of this 71 area in here. The reason I took it on ES, I really wanted to take it on Nasdaq because I thought Nasdaq was going to make a bigger move, and it kind of has. But the reason that I took it on ES is I had distance here from 71 up to 75. And then on the Nasdaq, that same move was here, but in order to play that move, I would have had to wait for the break here and then the hold. And then I didn't have meat on the bone on the Nasdaq trade to the first target. So that's why, that's the way I look at it. That's where I'm picking my target. So it's not like it has to be 20 points, because some days we're not going to get 20 points, and some days 20 points is going to be a fraction of the move. So that's why I'm looking at that's why things like these quant levels are in intraday things like this are really, really helpful, because it's not always going to be 20 points. It's not always going to be 5 points. I had someone like kind of aggressively tell me that I trailed my stops wrong because they should always be so many ticks or whatever, and they shouldn't be, because I like looking at average true ranges too, and I'm pretty sure that's part of the Fireline system. It's part of the math, is we're looking at the ATRs and things, and that's more important than like a set amount of points. So that's the way I look at it, is do we have meat on the bone? And then on the same side, if you're looking for just this little break, my stop would have been, the way this system works, the stop wouldn't have been too bad, but that's still, like, that's scary. I don't know. There's not enough meat on the bone to justify taking a position and putting some risk into the market. I think we're going to be talking about that more on Friday, I bet. That's the way I look at it, but we get to get some more input on that. Awesome. Oh, I said I was going to get y'all a fresh Discord invite in case you need that. We have a Firelines chat too, so if you want somebody who's even smarter about Firelines than I am, we got that. All right. Link is coming. I think there's one in the description, but half the time they don't work. Meet on the phone. Yeah, it was like a group effort, the Discord. It was the champagne room, and now like everyone's kind of gone off and done other things. So I was like, screw it, it's the trading ranch now. It's mine. I'm doing it. But it's pretty chill. So we've got different chats and things. It's all just free right now. There is some data that I'm looking at bringing, and if we do that, I'm gonna have to charge for that. But I'm trying to. It's got to be justifiable. I'm looking at the same kind of data that I'm using. So my news feed and some of the options flow, but it costs more if I upgrade to using the API and things so I can share it in Discord. So that's where I'd have to charge for it. But everything else is free. Like I'm not trying to make money on this. I've got my ways I make money. So, and it's a good place for other good traders who have good ideas to trade too. It's not just Rob. We've been talking about him a lot. He's a little popular because Firelines, but we've got BMO in there. He's really good with small caps and some of these other slower trades. But the small caps, are spicy, so that's fun. We've got 𝗂 has not been around as much, but he's an incredible futures trader when he's on the game. We've got a lot of people in chat that kind of, Hunter's good with some long-term and things like that. He's an accountant and a numbers guy, so he's good with all that stuff. Well, I guess a former accountant. Now he helps companies make sure they keep all their money. It's a good skill to have. Pretty in demand these days. Oh, Tesla's coming up again. Yeah, tech is just looking good, so we may still get that third target without me. But I'm not going to cry about it, because that was a pretty good morning. That was pretty easy work. I mean, I literally just like made sure my kids have food and then turn on the charts and hit go. So that's not bad. All right, y'all, I told you I was going to be a shorter stream today because I do have all this project going on and they're asking me to come point where stuff goes. So last call for questions. Like I said, I'm working on some videos that I'm pretty excited about getting out. I don't want to give, I've given a few little nuggets of hints away about what they are, but I'm probably going to do a shorter video this week and then get back into the longer ones. And it's totally my fault because I've been, I just want to make it really good. So I made some changes last minute before I recorded something and it's slowing me down. But I'll probably put out, since we're talking about risk on Friday, I think it's probably a good time to kind of introduce how I do the bracket orders on NinjaTrader, because they're super customizable. I'll show you how I do mine, and then hopefully that'll give you some ideas on how to do yours. But yeah, great talking with y'all. I'll hopefully see y'all on Friday. I scheduled it already, so you can go turn the notifications on. And if you're on Discord, you can join there. And I also have the event. It's listed as an event in Discord, so you can turn notifications on there too. Alrighty. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not hating the CPI play. That's exactly what I wanted this morning. And I was trying to pay attention to it while doing other things. And I'm really glad I was able to catch it. That's always the hard thing when getting kids off in the morning. But alrighty, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me, y'all. I will see you real soon. Love y'all.